We are so excited to share our perspective on what we experienced at Salone de Mobile in Milan, Italy this past April. This is just one of many viewpoints identifying and understanding the global design trend that we experienced. Us at Element Designs bring a US-based perspective, but it's equally important to learn how others interpret design through their own unique lenses. One of the themes that we found to be consistent was the human response. As our daily lives become shaped by technology, AI, constant connectivity, and demands of the fast-paced world, the home is evolving into a sanctuary. One thing that we really felt was a connection back to humanity. Trends of grounding materials, organic forms, and natural hues, which really invited the user to touch, feel, and experience comfort. And with that, we broke it down to 6 defining trends. Each will be discussed in more detail, and we will show a curated selection of photos for each. I encourage you to pause the video, see some of the details that you may have missed the first time around, and really take in the examples that we provide. Let's talk about our first trend, which we are calling the soft revolution. This is all about curves and organic forms. Rigid geometry retreats as curves, round shapes, and flowing silhouettes take over every category. So why curves? Organic forms signal warmth and approachability, especially in an era of hard edges and minimalism. And we saw curves in cabinetry, doors, tabletops, you name it, we saw it. We saw curves softening the lines of cabinetry and countertops, complementing the hard edges of shelving or tile. We saw curves mainly used as focal points, although sometimes as a more subtle accent. We saw curves layered or stacked on top of each other. They really stole the show this year. We're going to call our next trend Beyond the Mirror. These are all surfaces that capture and multiply light. Mirrors, high-gloss fronts, polished stone, and semi-transparent reflective glass. Materials that create a depth through reflection. It felt luxurious. It helped maximize light and truly amplify the size of the space. Whether it was dramatic or subtle, mirrors seemed to be back in a big but tasteful way. It was more than just regular mirror. We saw a lot of mirrors in semi-transparent glass in bronze and gray tones. Solid surface in both bright colors and neutrals. Materials used as accents, as door or drawer fronts, covering entire walls to create privacy, or as a showpiece, although it never felt overdone. Trend number 3, the see-through effect. This refers to all things glass doors and partitions, something a little bit more near and dear to our hearts here at Element Designs. Glass returns as a defining material in cabinet fronts, room dividers, and architectural partitions. Glass will always be part of our environment. We experienced really fun, unique glass types and implementations, showing examples of both beauty and function throughout the show. We saw a lot of large-scale doors, whether they were tall or wide or both. They took full advantage of the space that they were given, highlighting what's behind them and giving the opportunity for the inserts to shine. We experienced both familiar and exciting new examples of glass. A lot of reeded glass, both narrow and standard, as well as colored reeded, frosted reeded, and back-painted reeded, found in all applications, including kitchens and closets and bathrooms. We also saw a lot of smoked and etched glass. Painted borders on glass was prevalent. Trend number 4 is what we call the material story. It's all about textures and finishes, from bold marble veining to unexpected color pairings, creating surfaces that tell a story. We saw texture appear in many different forms and scenes and scale, both tactile and visual textures, mixed textures, using them in places that you may not have anticipated. Bold, dramatic stones stole the show this year. We saw bold colors such as red and green, and our trusty, but far from boring, neutral natural stone. It definitely showed that they were not afraid to take a risk. Stone was showcased in intuitive applications like sinks, door inserts, and drawer fronts. In addition to stone, we saw a lot of textured wood and velvety textile. Warm metallics, such as champagne gold and a warm bronze, were used for doors and shelving. Solid aluminum fronts in both warm and cool tones, with a leather-like appearance. Sometimes these elements stood strong on their own, other times they were complementary to each other in a perfectly balanced juxtaposition. Trend number 5, the palette perspective. All about color. Nature-inspired colors were used to bring warmth and comfort to spaces designed to reflect individual taste and bring personalization to light. As you can imagine, we saw pretty much every color on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form. There were a few noteworthy colors and hues that we continued to see trending over and over again. Many of them were earth-inspired tones, as well as a few daring hues that showed up in bathrooms and kitchens and textiles and furniture. All of them really portrayed that sense of timelessness, and it evoked emotions and created a really strong connection to the natural world. Last but not least, trend number 6. The details define it. This is all about statement hardware and door details. Hinges, pulls, handles, and decorative mullions are no longer afterthoughts. They are signature. They become part of the architecture. Statement hardware was bold, but deliberately used as not to overwhelm. They tended to be installed on certain doors within the space, but not all. They were oftentimes combined with integrated pulls or hidden hardware, ensuring that the statement hardware remains just that as the focal point. We also saw a lot of frames or profiles that had their own integrated handles built right in. Channeled hardware was a trend that we saw over and over and over again, in kitchens and some unexpected places. Mullions or dividers on the doors applied for both texture and aesthetics. All of these details really guiding the eye around the space, but kind of becoming stars of the designs themselves. Let's quickly review some of our key takeaways. I encourage you to pause the video, but the home is becoming a sanctuary. Organic form is non-negotiable. Texture is the new luxury. Glass and mirror create depth without adding weight. Hardware as a hero detail. And natural colors and warm metallics bring the human touch. And of course, I cannot end this presentation without highlighting some of our product offerings that relate back to the trends that we saw. Some of you may be familiar with these, and some of them may be new to you. Please do not hesitate to reach out to our team if you have any questions or would like some additional information. I'll leave with this. In a world shaped by technology, the home is becoming deeply human again. This concludes our presentation. Thank you everyone for taking the time to review. I hope you've left inspired. And a very special thank you to all of the exhibitors.